Hi everyone, I received an Amazon gift card recently, as I shared in the other two videos that I've also recorded today. And so I purchased some decks with that money. Now, I thought I was moving this past summer, and so it was going to be a big move. And so I had gifted a lot of my regular decks. I had gifted / donated a large quantity of my regular decks that I had had for some time, but maybe like I wasn't using them as often anymore. And so I thought I would gift those and take a break from them, and then I would like repurchase them down the road after we had moved. But the move ended up falling through. And these decks that I ended up repurchasing are ones that I've just really missed having in my collection and that I've wanted to bring back. And I got the opportunity to do that thanks to a wonderful friend who gave me a Christmas gift early. So I figured in this video, I would just kind of do like a chatty video about like why I wanted to repurchase these, why I want them in my regular full collection, and just kind of like chat about that while I unbox them and look through some of the imagery with you. Two of them are updated versions, and so I figured I will start with those and I'll show you the updates as well so you can see if maybe you want to repurchase the updated version. The first one I'm going to show you is the Messenger Oracle by Raven Phelan. I accidentally ended up donating my original copy of this deck. I did not have any intention of donating that copy. It accidentally went into a box that was being donated. I love this deck. My original copy was perfectly broken in. I loved the size. I loved the feel of the deck. But one of my very good tarot friends had also let me know that this deck, there was an updated version, no borders, and the images really popped. So I did have this on my list to repurchase, but I did not intend to get rid of my original copy, and I did. And I wish I still had that original copy. I love this deck by Raven Phelan. I love her artwork, as you guys know. And I'm still trying to get to know her tarot deck. I'm considering doing like an online workshop offering with that deck in the future. But this deck is really great as a clarifier. So this is the new updated box. It just says second edition. I don't know. It does say Blue Angel. Okay, so it is still published by Blue Angel. There was a time when we humans could see and feel the divine within each other and all around us. She talks about being one with nature. The deck is infused with the magic of ancient dragons, elemental fae, mystical trees, and their wild animal kin. These messengers are here to guide us to our true selves and to help us reconnect with and express our ancient bond with nature and spirit. So let's see. To celebrate the 9th anniversary edition, Raven has revisited the images in the design and added 5 gorgeous new cards to make communing with the messengers even more meaningful. So that's pretty cool. We get an additional 5 cards. Oh, the guidebook. Okay. I really miss the old backings. I'm not going to lie. I miss my original. But this is very pretty. And bonus, they're matte, which is beautiful. The inside of the tuck box is like a creamy yellow, buttercream yellow color. Very pretty. So they're about the same width as before, but they're a little bit longer, which is nice. And as you can see here, no border, just straight up the card image. The deck title is a little bit bigger, and I don't know if I love how much of the card it takes up, but that's okay. I'm not against it. It's just different. So the guidebook is kind of like the typical basic Blue Angel guidebook in that you get like one paragraph in a black and white depiction of the image. So that's what you're going to get out of the guidebook. That hasn't really changed. Let's kind of talk about the deck while I just show you some of the imagery. So I love this deck for clarification in a tarot reading. And I also love this deck for daily draws. It seems like the color has really been pumped up here too, which is nice. It's more saturated. So it's awesome for clarification. Oh, this is a new, okay. Become a Shapeshifter is new. Calm in the Storm is new. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but that's how I'm remembering it. I really miss my original. If anyone wants to trade for their original version of this deck, I would be more than happy to. I don't want to trade this one, but I would be willing to trade something else for it if anyone's not using theirs. But like, I love this image. I love this imagery. Like when she like gets it right for me, Raven really like just knocks it out of the park. So anyhow, it's really nice for a daily draw for yourself as well, to help you connect in like spiritually with the energy to kind of move through your day with. But the card titles are really nice in that they're very like to the point, and for clarification in a tarot reading, it's very easy to get that clarification that you need. But as you can see, like, I love this image. Know your fears is still gorgeous. Know your power here. Let go of the old with Peacock. It's a really, really lovely deck. Yeah, there's definitely been a color saturation shift, because this previously was one of my favorite images in the deck, and I feel like there's more green and blue showing up here. Love that you are different here. But it has just a very harmonious voice. It's really lovely to work with. Nurse of Soul, I love this imagery. And yeah, it's a really beautiful deck. Observe in Silence here. Another image that I love. And it's one that it lets you pause for reflection on like where you are at any given point in time. Love this imagery. And of course the owl will see the truth. I've always loved that card. I feel like the wolf in Seek the Lesson wasn't this color originally, but maybe I'm remembering wrong. Seek Your Answers Within. I've always loved that imagery too. So the matte feel is very nice. The cardstock's nice and thick. Like no, I have no complaints there. The Source of All may be new. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one, guys. This one I am going to show you the whole deck just because I wanted to see what the new ones were. Trust in Magic. Love that image. And it really helps you to like reconnect with this, a spiritual path about connection, about all of us connected, right? So I'm very happy to have this back. I like the size. I wish it was a little bit fatter, but I like the size. The backing is pretty. It's just I really, really, really loved the old backing. I won't lie to you about that, but this is a really great oracle deck to have in your collection. If you're a collector, if you like Raven's artwork, if you feel drawn to work with this one, I do highly recommend it. So the other one that I am going to look at a few images with you on is the Sacred Rebels. You guys know that I love this deck, and I use it all the time in readings, especially when I'm focusing on soul purpose or soul growth or soul's evolution. And one of you very kindly told me that they had an updated version with the matte cards without borders, which I was 100% there for and very excited about. So I just want to make sure that we're right about this before we get into it. So here's the reproduction of the guidebook. Inside of the tuck box is yellow, like a really vibrant yellow. Yes, they do have matte cardstock. I want everything to have matte cardstock. I'm like obsessed. And no borders. Oh yeah, guys. Oh my God. So I have my original copy of this, but she's Blue Angel uses good cardstock because she still looks, she's still in good shape and she gets used all the time. You can like a little bit tell that I shuffle her a lot, but she's stood up well, but it's time to have a second edition available. For those decks that I use all the time, I like to have a second copy because they go out of print and then you can't find them. So, oh my gosh, guys, I'm not going to go through all this because I'm already at 10 minutes, but like, I'm super excited about this. So if you love this deck, I definitely recommend purchasing the updated edition. Like, oh, just like, doesn't that just look better than this one? I really, really love it when they let go of the borders. Always. I'm always in favor of that, and I'm always in favor of matte cardstock. It's just so, it's so yummy to shuffle. Okay. So I repurchased the Goddess's Knowledge cards. I just want to talk about how you can use this deck. And I'll do a separate video on this as well. This is one of the first decks that I bought when I started my path, my left-hand path with witchcraft, because I wanted to understand the mythology on the goddesses as part of my own healing journey. Growing up in a religious cult and having, you know, the women were seen as less than men. Like, the feminine energy could not have anything to do with godhood or deity. And part of my own healing journey from like, gosh, I want to say like 19 to 25 was really working a lot with Joseph Campbell and Jung and their works, and then connecting with goddess energy. And this is a really great deck to help you get to know goddess mythology across pantheons. It's a really great deck to use for if you want to have an image of a specific goddess on your altar, or if you are trying to call in an energy and you want to get acquainted with the goddess, to have this image, you know, the imagery out on your altar. And on the back, it has a description, a short description about the goddess and her mythology. That's Isis and Osiris there. But if you are looking, and it's Susan Seddon Boulet's work, which is just, like, it doesn't fucking get better than her artwork when it comes to representation of deity. But, and here's Changing Woman. But this is a really great deck to have for that type of work. In a reading, I might use it to represent the goddess that's coming forward to work with a certain individual for where they are on their path. This is Gaia. The goddess Hel here. But I wouldn't necessarily use this like for clarification. It's not that type of deck. But just because it's not that type of deck doesn't mean that it doesn't have a really powerful purpose. Here's Inanna. This is one of my favorite representations of Inanna ever. Inanna was one of the first goddesses I worked with, and I fucking love this representation. I had this on my altar for years while I was really getting to know her. I love that one. Here's Ishtar. That's a beautiful representation of Ishtar as well. We have Ixchel. I love Ixchel. Like, a lot. This was one of those decks that one of my teachers had, and really as I was learning and connecting, oh, sorry, it's the Lady of the Lake there. As I was learning and getting to know them, here's Lilith, and connecting with these goddesses, like, oh, this is Mary. It just was very life-changing and affirmative for me. There's Medusa. It's a really, really gorgeous deck, and it's great for here's Morgan Le Fay. So there are some, you know, aspects of deity here that you wouldn't expect to see. There's Pele, Persephone. I love this image of Psyche. Excuse me, I love that one. There's Rhiannon. You can see her face there. So freaking beautiful. This will be the last one I show you, and this is Selene here. But this is a worthy deck to have in your collection, especially if you are wanting to get to know the sacred feminine, or you want to call in new goddess energy, different goddess energy. You want to explore pantheons. You want to, you know, make the rounds a little bit and get to know if a new goddess is in your life. It's beautiful to have out for a representation of the goddess to connect with as you move throughout your day. And again, this is the Goddess's Knowledge cards by Susan Seddon Boulet. It's a really, really beautiful deck, and I highly recommend it. And I'm really, really glad to have it back in my collection. Okay, the other two that I repurchased were Gods and Titans and Goddesses and Sirens. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about why you might want to work with these two decks. I have full reviews of these decks posted, most of these decks that I've talked about today. I think all of them, except for maybe the Goddesses one. So if you're looking for that, you can just do a search on my channel and, you know, connect in with those decks for full review. But Gods and Titans and Goddesses and Sirens, I don't know why I gifted these two decks. I was in packing, and sometimes you make choices when you think you're going to move that you don't know why you made those choices, but you made them, so whatever you did, you know, you got to kind of just accept it. But Gods and Titans is another great option if you want to get to know various faces and facets of deity and connect in with the sacred masculine. You want to explore the sacred masculine in a new way for you. So again, you can use the card on your altar to connect. You can leave, let's say you want to work with Anubis and you leave this on your altar and you sit in front of the altar every day and you connect in with Anubis's energy for a period of time. You know, these cards, both Gods and Titans and Goddesses and Sirens and the Goddesses knowledge cards that I just shared with you, they're all wonderful ways that you can start connecting with deity. And as you guys know, as I've said for years on this channel, if you really want to feel like you're having an intimate experience with deity, you have to build a relationship with them. It's just like any other long-term relationship in your life where you have to show up and commit and put in the work, right? You have to do the chop wood, carry water part in order to also experience the transcendence. At least that's how I've always experienced it. So these decks are great for that. They're also great for ascertaining what form of deity or face of deity is working with you at any given time. And they're great for like your year ahead reading. You can pull a goddess and a god for the year and connect in with their energy. So that's the Gods and Titans. I'm not going to show you all the imagery, but I will show you Odin, the Big Mac Daddy. This is one of my favorite depictions of Odin ever. It's very close to how like I see him when he comes through in the dream time to work with me. And yeah, I love this. That depiction of Odin is like a really, really good one. And then I love this reproduction of Osiris here. Ra is also absolutely fucking gorgeous. I work with Ra a lot. And I really like Jimmy Mann's depiction of him. So that's the Gods and Titans Oracle. It's, I don't think it used to be Blue Angel, but now it's Beyond Words because it's a Stacey DeMarco deck. So very, very, very thankful to have that deck back in my life. And I'm going to show you Goddesses and Sirens really quick. Just so that you can see if, you know, this one might be one you want to bring into your collection. If you're new to witchcraft, if you're new to an alternative or pagan path or a left-hand path, you know, we work with faces of deity, with aspects of deity for many reasons. Some of us feel that they are actual beings that we're connected with. Some of us feel that they are aspects of ourselves that we're exploring. And some of us feel like they're just energy that's choosing to be seen in this form to help you understand something about your own journey. You can believe any of that or all of it, right? Like it's your path. You get to choose. So same thing here. Really great deck to get to know various aspects of the sacred feminine. And Stacey DeMarco and Jimmy Manton, again, it's kind of nice to have Gods and Titans and Goddesses and Sirens in this very cohesive representation. So you can have an aspect of the sacred feminine and an aspect of the sacred masculine represented on your altar, right? Like, that's kind of cool. There's not a lot of decks out there that have both the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine represented. I love that Hecate is in this deck. Not how I picture Hecate, but I'm just thankful that she's in this deck. I feel like we don't get a lot of representations of her. I don't understand this depiction of Isis. I believe I said that in my review way back in the day when Vincent was like 6 months old, excuse me. I was an exhausted mom. I don't understand this depiction of Isis. It's the proportions are skewed and it's not. Jimmy Manton did the artwork for the Isis Oracle, which is like one of my favorite oracles of all time. And it's just not the same as the beauty with which he gave us the Isis oracle. So I don't know. But anyhow, I'm glad Isis is in here. And then we have Ixchel again. There's Lakshmi. And she has Lilith in here, which means a lot to me. I'm very happy we have a representation of Lilith. There's Pele looking beautiful. We have Persephone again. So it's giving you, and then she added Rhiannon for this edition, which I freaking love this image of it, this depiction of Rhiannon as well. I love that depiction. But, you know, again, you're getting a chance to sample a lot of different pantheons and to see like what, there's White Buffalo Woman, to see what feels right for you. There's Yamaya with Hope. And if, you know, if there's a different pantheon you want to explore, you know, where you land on the cultural appropriation thing, I will leave for each one of us individually, but I love the idea of being able to be open to the sacred feminine in all her myriad forms. So that's both of those decks. Again, like I said, they're really great to use for altar work, for connecting with a new facet or face of a goddess and god, and to open yourself up to exploring new pantheons, okay, or new aspects of yourself through a pantheon. Let's see, what am I at here? I'm at 20 minutes, so I'm gonna bring it in here and try to wrap it up quick. I did purchase the Morgan Greer in the small size here, and I'm just going to talk about why for a moment. I've kind of been into this, like, clarifying a tarot deck with another tarot deck lately. I'm going to do a video on this and talk more in depth about it. But, like, I've really been kind of geeking out on it lately and really enjoying it. And so because of that, I've been purchasing miniature tarot decks. Like, here's a mini steampunk. And I wanted a pocket size of the Morgan Greer because I love the Morgan Greer. I have the regular size edition. I did not like the Morgan Greer at first. My first review of the Morgan Greer, I definitely threw a lot of shade. And I gifted it and I was like, I'm never going to use it. It's too close to traditional imagery. I'm not into it. But I have to say, the Morgan Greer is a fucking clear, crystal clear deck to read with, especially for clients. And the older I get, the more I like the 70s color saturation in this deck. So I wanted a mini to use to clarify other decks in readings, and so that I can mix this with a less traditional deck and still get my traditional imagery. So, oh no, it's not as saturated as my other one, and I don't like the cardstock. The cardstock's really flimsy. But I like that it's in a tin and I can travel with this very well. So when I'm a traveling psychic, this is a nice, like, it's very easy. I don't have to worry about it getting wrecked in my purse or like thrown around by an 8-year-old if it's in the travel bag. The color saturation is definitely less than in my original edition. The cardstock leaves a lot to be desired. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm so sad. Like, where's all like the lusty sepia tone here in the Lovers too? Like, what the heck? Oh well, it's still going to serve its purpose. And after I break it in, hopefully it will be less like slippery and feel less flimsy. I don't know, guys, but like cardstock really matters, doesn't it? Like, if you shuffle decks every single day, cardstock does matter. So this is the size. Here's an example. Here's a comparison to the Earthbound Oracle, which is another Oracle deck size I love for reading. So it's very similar in size, and that's awesome for clarification because I could just throw a couple extra cards out into the spread, and they're not covering over completely the cards that they're meant to clarify. So that's really nice. So this is the Morgan Greer in the travel tin, the mini size. And I love the card backing. Isn't that awesome, card backing? I'll get over the lack of perfect cardstock, but I'm very happy to have that mini size to travel with. All right, the last deck that I repurchased with my gift card is the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. I know, I don't know why. This is another one that I was rushing with packing, and I accidentally packed in the donation box. And yeah, my heart is broken, but there's nothing I can do. It is what it is. So this is not an updated version. This is one of my favorites of her decks. If you're wanting to work with a Colette Baron read deck and you're brand new to her work, I would say work with Wisdom of the Oracle or the Mystical Shaman deck. I really think those two are like the pinnacle of her work. This is the backing. It's a very nice backing, nice card size. Here's a comparison so you can see. And I'll just talk really quick about why I like this deck and why I've like repurchased it for my permanent collection. It's a really nice clarifier. Again, it's straight up, it's to the point. Whether you reference the guidebook or not, you kind of have an idea just looking at the card what it's talking about. And if you're trying to clarify a message that's coming through in a reading with tarot, this can really like hit the nail on the head for what area the tarot spread is addressing, you know, especially if you're reading for yourself and you feel a little bit confused. I really love the imagery in this deck. Her artist really knocked it out of the park. It's not irritating, it's not annoying, it's not clunky with the photo manipulation. It flows really beautifully. There's a lot of space in the imagery, so it doesn't feel too crowded. It's not distracting. It's like a nice breath of fresh air. And this deck is also great to use for daily draws as well, if you just want an oracle message for yourself for the day. Love that one. And there's their depiction of like the Two of Cups soulmate energy. Oh wait, I love this imagery. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, I know that's the back, but with all the blue around it, it's so pretty. Oh, Loyal Heart is gorgeous. Come to the Edge is gorgeous. And oh, here it is, the Soulmates card. This is like the cutest Two of Cups Soulmates card representation. Like, it's one of my absolute favorites that I've ever seen. So yeah, I really, really enjoy this image. Isn't that sweet? It's so cute. But anyhow, this is the Wisdom of the Oracle. Again, it's like this and Mystical Shaman Oracle, which she also was part of creating. Both of those decks are my two favorite Colette Baron read decks. This is definitely a worthy one to have in your collection. This, like the Messenger Oracle, was accidentally donated by me when I thought I was moving. Did not intend to donate either of these. But they're really beautiful decks and worthy to have in your collection if you're a reader, especially a reader who likes to use oracle decks to clarify tarot readings. So if you guys have made it 30 minutes with me in this unboxing of decks that I have gifted and donated multiple times in my long life as a card reader, kudos to you. It's been wonderful to sit and chat with you guys for a little bit. You know, I really feeling connected to facets and aspects of deity and exploring relationship and connection with them through this winter season, this holiday season. So I hope you are feeling loved and supported on your journey. I am sending you so much love and many blessings, and I will see you in the next video.